Good day everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, well, I am Dr. Monday and I make videos on motivation, relationship, lifestyle and motherhood. Alright, I'm so excited that you are here with me on this beautiful YouTube channel. Alright, so now I'm going to continue with my motherhood series. So today I'm doing a Q&A on pregnancy. Alright, so pregnancy Q&A coming right up. So the first question is, should I drink alcohol? And the answer to this is no. Not a tiny sip, not one shot, not 5% or 1.2%. And that is because studies have not been able to tell how much of alcohol is bad. All we know is that alcohol is bad for babies. So no, you cannot drink alcohol during pregnancy, and that's on period. Okay. So should I exercise during pregnancy? Absolutely yes. You can exercise during pregnancy. However, avoid scuba diving, water skiing, or obviously skydiving. I mean, when you're pregnant, it's not the time to want to jump down thousands of feet from a plane, okay? But other than that, you can do your regular exercises except your doctor tells you otherwise. And please, this video is not medical advice. Make sure you take medical advice from your doctor that you can see physically or that is doing telemedicine for you, okay? So this is not medical advice. So yes, you can exercise as much as you can. You can jog, you can swim, you know, just be careful. Again, listen to your doctor. Is it safe to have sex during pregnancy? As far as I know, the answer is yes. However, in some cases, your doctor might advise against having sex during pregnancy. And what are some of the cases you asked? For example, if you're having a threatened abortion, so let's say for whatever reason, it looks like there is going to be a miscarriage, doctor might advise that you avoid sex. Another thing is placenta previa. So placenta previa is a case where the placenta is at the lower part of the uterus, which is the womb, right? So in this case, the doctor might advise you to not to have sex, and that is because with placenta previa there is increased risk of bleeding. The reason would be premature rupture of membrane, and what is that basically is that your water breaks before 37 weeks. So in that case, where your water breaks or there is a bit of leakage, right? Sometimes your water does not like splash like boom, it's just a little, you know, leakage. Then in that case, what happens is that the baby is prone to infection, and so the doctor might advise that again you should not have sex. If it looks like you're going to labor before time, then your doctor might say you should abstain from sex, or a condition called preeclampsia. I'll talk about that in another lecture. Again, this is not medical advice. Make sure you're listening to your doctor that you can see, okay? Don't say you watch my video and it's okay, so make sure you listen to your doctor, okay? The next question that is interesting is, I feel so tired, how can I help myself? And I would say honestly, like, being tired during pregnancy is normal, especially in the first trimester. It's actually normal. Like, you see how like some people sleep during there, like I remember when I was pregnant, right? Every time I'm sleepy, and sometimes I want to tell myself I feel like I'm pregnant, you know, but then I remember that obviously, like, I don't know if you guys get it, just like, I mean, I'm not showing that I'm pregnant. I'm not having like any like pregnancy symptoms. The only thing is like I'm just tired and I just want to sleep. And then sometimes I'm like, it's looking like I'm pregnant, you know, and I'm like, obviously you're pregnant, you know. So tiredness is, you know, fatigue is part of it. So just take it easy, one day at a time. Do as much as you can. Many people swear that by the second trimester you do tend to feel very much better, and then the fatigue might return again with third trimester, and that is understandable in the sense that the baby has much weight, and even the weight is pressing on your hips, and you know, just the whole stress of pregnancy can cause that fatigue. By the way, during pregnancy you don't need to prove to anybody like that you're a superwoman, you can do everything. Honestly, just take it one day at a time. Honestly, like, you are bringing forth life, so take it one day at a time. If you're at work, discuss with your bosses, let them know that you're pregnant and you're experiencing severe tiredness, and if they're considerate, they'll probably give you less load, or see what they can do to assist you during this time. Okay, so 1 day at a time. Next question is, how many weeks is considered full term or overdue? All right, so ideally every pregnant woman wants to get to 37 weeks. Like once you get to that 37 weeks, it's like, oh my god, God is, like, it's like, oh my god, like, wow, I finally made it. So at 37 weeks, your baby is pretty much considered a term baby, then up to 40 weeks. Now after 41 weeks, some people consider your baby overdue, and in some places they wait as much as after 42 weeks. But I'm sure, mommy, after 40 weeks, you're like, boy, girl, can you just get out? Like, come into the world. We've been expecting you. We've been waiting for you. At this point, we really just want to receive you, and I need my hips to be free, okay? Right, so what are the stages of labor? Labor is said to be in 3 stages. The first stage, which is labor, that's like from the time you start feeling those, regular contractions. So from time you start feeling your contractions, some people have like practice contractions, they call the Braxton Hicks contraction. But from time you start having like a regular, like you're feeling the pain maybe every 5 minutes or every 3 minutes, then then it's like labor is beginning to start. Now from that time to about 4 centimeters, that is referred to as latent labor. And honestly, this latent labor, it varies for different people. For some people it could be as long as 12 hours, for some people it could be as long as 16 hours, and for some others it's just really a short time, so it varies. Now from the time you're 4 centimeters up until you are 10 centimeters, that is your active labor. After you're done with that stage of labor, then we actually go to the second stage of labor, and this is when they might start to tell you to get ready, be admitted on the labor ward. Now the second stage also, which is the part where you push out and you deliver the baby. Now for the 4 centimeters to 10 centimeters, for people that have given birth before, you might dilate like 1 centimeter every hour. So on average, you're looking at about 8 hours to say 12 hours for this particular phase. But I can tell you that I've literally seen somebody go from 4 centimeters to, oh my god, you need to, like, the person was 4 centimeters, then we went back to check her like 2 hours later, and this lady, I mean, the head is literally there, like nobody is ready. The nurses had to tell her, don't push the baby, like don't attempt to push, because if you push, the baby's gonna come out, nobody's wearing gloves, nobody's ready to receive the baby. But for some others it could go as long as whatever, so it just varies. Then there is and then after that, so once you're 10 centimeters, then there is the next phase where you push the baby. Now the pushing also, like that's the delivery of the baby. For some people, again, it could be 30 minutes. For some others it could go up to 3 hours, right? So it just varies. There is a lot of like things on that, so but I'm not going to bore you guys, okay? So then finally, the last stage of labor is actually the delivery of the placenta. On average, this should be about 30 minutes. For some people it's 5 minutes, for some it's 30 minutes, okay? So basically those are the stages of labor. Can you tell your baby's gender? Honestly, some people say they know. There is all the midwife's tale and the Chinese calendar. In my case, first baby, I will not say I knew, like I knew but I was not sure, you understand? Like, well, okay, let me tell you guys, like, so at first I was like, this child is a girl. And then my husband's like, everybody's like, this child is a girl. But it just occurred to me that way too. Like, I was like, person said, what if this child is actually a boy? So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I knew. So I'm like, what if this child is actually a boy? And I'm like, you know what? I think this child is a boy. Then eventually we went for the ultrasound, and I'm like, okay. And then the ultrasound confirmed that the child is actually a boy. So I cannot say that I knew. I mean, some people always say they know, like in their guts, in their heart of heart, like they are 100% sure. I mean, I cannot say I was 100% sure. That's it, basically. Then for the second baby, I kind of had a feeling also she was a girl. And I remember before going for the ultrasound, I said, you know what, Esther, pick one. It's not when it comes there, like, so I'm like, pick one. What is it? And I'm like, you know what, I think that baby is a girl. And I'm like, it's a girl. And then I went for the ultrasound, but of course, like, I'm not sure. I just have that feeling, like that gut feeling, like I think it's a girl, and then obviously the ultrasound confirms it. So I would not say I know, like. And then I remember with the first baby, we actually tried to do like this old wives' tale of put a cutlery. I think he would. I can't remember the details though, but it's like you put a cutlery under your chair. Then maybe if you sit on a fork or if you sit on a spoon, it's a boy and girl. My husband and I, we just did it honestly for fun, and the results were confusing. Then the Chinese calendar, I think it was somewhat accurate, sure. You guys can just go on Google and check Chinese calendar if you're pregnant and you're just curious, you know. It's just, honestly, it's just for fun. I don't think it's really that deep, so I don't know. The next one is, did you like being pregnant? Oh my goodness, like I would say yes. Given that it was our first baby, especially after we'd gotten over like that first trimester, we're like second trimester and we're starting to show, honestly, I loved being pregnant. Like I was pampered, I was taken care of, you know, like pregnant. And then another thing I would say is I was pregnant during pandemic, right? And there was lockdown, so like when you go shopping, there is like this long queue, and I will not lie to you guys, like I absolutely, because I mean, like the trained people, like for example, like a trained police officer, like seeing you under the sun lining up with pregnancy will be like, come inside, you know, the security, those that are trained though, not those ones that don't know jack, like I don't know, whatever, you know, like there's some that they're actually trained, so they know that as a pregnant woman, I mean, you shouldn't be on the queue like lying up under the sun and all of those. So when I go to bank, you know, I would line up like where the elderly people also line. I would just go to the front, you know, I'm like, show the belly, like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I mean, I don't go like, you know, I'm pregnant, I have to be inside. I just kind of like, just show myself, and they're like, oh, you're pregnant, come inside. I know. Yeah, so I love being pregnant. At least for that reason, and also the fact that I was actually pampered too. Yeah, so, and you know, like nobody expects it to like hustle and rush, so like everybody expects it to take things easy, so I just kind of go with the flow, you know. Yes, I liked being pregnant. Well, besides the crazy hip pain that I experienced, right, I mean, besides that, and obviously the morning sickness, story for another day, that I experienced, pregnancy was just a bliss. Okay. Did I get stretch marks? Ay. I don't know if that's a question, and I don't know if there are people that actually don't get stretch marks, honestly. But let me tell you guys something, right? So the first pregnancy, which is obviously the pregnancy that defines your stretch marks or not, clearly in my case. So I mean, up until 29, 30 weeks, I honestly did not have any stretch marks. And before then, like I would rub oil on my belly, shea butter. But when I didn't get stretch marks, I just felt like, oh, maybe, you know, it just would never come, because I was, you know, I would read online like what to do, blah, blah, blah. Then let me tell you guys something. After the 30th week, I figured, okay, I mean, at this point, we are 30 weeks. The belly is growing, but I think I forgot that like the baby would double in size actually after that. So I'm just like, I didn't get stretch mark up to this point. I mean, what's the point? So I kind of just stopped like religiously putting the shea butter and the oil on my belly. And guys, in 2 weeks time, if you see the load of stretch marks that came on, I'm like, what? And at that point, to be honest, I just feel like, you know what, the stretch mark is here, there's nothing else I can do, so I'm gonna move on. So yes, I did get stretch marks. How much weight did you gain? Blood of Jesus. Is this a question we should be discussing on the internet? You know, they say the internet never forgets. Alright guys, so let me know if you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you want like more interesting videos on pregnancy and my weekly Motivation Monday relationship nuggets, then do subscribe to this YouTube channel. See you next time. Bye bye.